welcome Robert Morris, please.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you. It's great to meet all the friends. I realize I'm the guy standing between you and beer, but can we have a round of applause for Patrick for doing that? All right, so my company, as Patrick said, is Terravion, and we deliver a service that uses drone technology to help specialty crop growers increase yields. And what I want to talk about today is what actually drives adoption of our technology and gets people to fork their money or their institutional capital to get our solutions. Next slide. So I'm very fortunate in that I've been in the unmanned systems business my entire career, and I've been selling data to decision makers since I got out of college. This is my first job out of college, taking the Army's first R-27 platoon to Afghanistan. It's pretty awesome. So this is one of my aircraft. This is a medium-sized tactical UAV, and its job is literally to provide information to brigade and battalion commanders who are going to make decisions on troops. And sort of to bookend it, next slide. Here's myself and my CTO, Cornell Wright, with our current solution. As you can see, we've kind of taken a step backwards. Everyone here can agree to that? All right. But I want to talk about sort of why we're doing that. And so, what does it take to build a successful unmanned systems or drone company? You have to have an opportunity to create real value. And for the most part, I mean, there are other applications like cargo and work down the road. But I mean, I think for the most part, we're really talking about data. Where can we give data that actually has value? We have to have a business model that does it, and then we have to have inputs. And there's plenty of what's written on inputs, so we're going to skip that. So I want to talk a little bit about where the opportunity to create value is and what's a viable, sustainable model in our industry. All right, so next. So my observation, both in trying to sell to agronomists and viticulturists and in talking to battalion and brigade commanders, is that the information cycle is becoming modularized. What that means is that there's specialists who line up essentially in a stack. It's just like a manufacturing value stack to give what's needed to create value. So in the blue is sort of what we're talking about as our industry. It's go out, run air operations, get data down off the sensor, and put it into somebody's hands. Then there's the fusion, is what the military calls it, but analysis, interpretation. It's the guy with a PhD in that industry, whether he literally holds a PhD or not, who takes the data and turns it into information. And then finally, you have to have a mechanism where you can do something different that actually creates value. And so that's sort of the way we look at. I mean, it's how I looked at data in the military, and I think it's served us well in selling to our early customers in the agriculture market as well. So next one. Yeah. So. I think that there's basically 4 ways, and if you're thinking back to the last slide, we're talking about the first section, the air ops section of that triangle. Where can we create value in air ops? And I think there's 4 ways. There's getting a sensor platform somewhere that you literally could not get it, like whether it's on somebody's back or onto a movie set. You can create value with form. You can also create value with endurance. There's certain sensors that having them up for a long time, much longer than a human being could fly an aircraft, creates real value. And then there's environment, going into, say, a column of fire over bad guys. And then finally there's cost and convenience, which are sort of the same thing as if it's cheaper, you can buy it more conveniently. And so my discussions with growers is basically a manned aircraft can go anywhere that you would need to go to collect data in agriculture. And so really the agriculture game is about providing data that can make decisions at a cost that they previously have not been able to achieve it at. All right, next slide. So this is based on this is based on my interviews with growers. If you were somebody like a Constellation Brands, like a large multinational agribusiness conglomerate, there's a lot of other factors that you could look at, but essentially, if you're looking at overhead data, there's this trade-off between resolution and customization of my data versus how often do I get it. And to date, the options have been a very expensive manned platform that does a great job, gets a ton of information out of a single pass, or sort of at the other end of the spectrum is Landsat, which if you're okay with 30-meter visual and 120 thermal, then it's free, but it comes once every 16 days, and if there's clouds, you gotta wait another 16 days, and maybe another 16 days. So what we're trying to do with our solution is push up into the drone space. And that space, to me, is where you can get high-resolution custom data at an affordable price to keep getting it. So it's a continuous data stream where you can optimize production. So I'd like next slide. So I'd like to talk a little bit about delivery. I think this is totally underestimated in our, everywhere, but particularly in our community, and certainly in the media. Army drones, this is really their key feature. It's not that they don't have a pilot on them. It's that the pilot of the drone sits in the tactical operations center right next to, see that bald guy? He's the battalion battle captain. He's the guy that is literally coordinating everything that's happening on the battlefield, whether it's getting more water for dropping bombs or radio frequencies. It goes through him, and he is saying, what information do I need right now to make a better decision? And so that's what, as we move into the civilian world, we are going to be providing data to decision makers. It's not going to look like this. This is a really expensive and kind of inefficient solution, but this is the nirvana that we have to aim for with decision makers. Okay. So, and like with airframe, there are a bunch of ways that you can create value in data delivery: timeliness, search, location of delivery, interconnectedness, and I think the other way to think about this is tasking back. Earlier, when we were talking about the information cycle, you'll notice it's a circle. It's an iterative process. So there's a lot to be done. Next slide. And the other thing that I don't, so we're all early adopters here. I mean, we love playing with drones, that's why we're here. But most people don't. And we have to handle the complexity so that our customers don't have to. The Army in a war zone requires this guy to throw a Raven in the air. He's required to have a logbook. And assuming that the Army in a war zone is probably more permissive than the FAA is going to be over a city, I don't think that we're looking at a benign regulatory environment for commercial UAS anytime soon. And so I think that that's something we really have to handle. I'd like one, so this is sort of how we look at channels in the agriculture market. I'd just like to share this on that. So there's, again, this would be, if you're selling to a large agribusiness, a lot of them, they literally just want better data. And they can't get the data they want collected. And they have PhDs in-house that interpret it. sort of the next level down in the market is we can resell our data to somebody inside the industry. We found that there are tons and tons of agricultural consultants who claim to be able to interpret overhead data in novel ways and resell it to people. We're working with one of them right now. But I think the nirvana where we all want to head is our platforms become an extension of the internet. And our data goes up on the cloud, gets interpreted by any interpretation methodology you want to bring to your problem, and it goes automatically into automation. In agriculture, it's literally in your field, but in other fields, metaphorical fields, it might not be automated harvesters and irrigation, but actions taken by the network without any human intervention. All right. So in conclusion, value equals good actionable data, and our customers don't care how we deliver it or what we do or what our troubles are. They want to focus on their business and do better in their business, and I think that's really the key to how we are going to thrive as an industry. So thank you for your time. Patrick, do you want to...
Well, I just, anybody have a quick question for Robert?
No. You can ask over beers too.
All right. Well, what I want to do, thank you, Roger.